The 23rd American Division waited in July for orders to receive my order for first cav. Went there, got on a half track. Found out that I was going to be lead scout. I had a guy there. He had only 9 or 10 days left in the country, and he volunteered to stay to show me the rope or what I was looking for. And it was on this road, I remember, and it didn't look good to him for some reason. He had everybody stop. We got off the half track, and he told me to stay right there. And he walked down the trail a ways. Well, my stupidness, I don't do that. I followed right behind him, and all I heard was an explosion. He flew, I would say maybe 150, maybe less than that. Landed off the road, way out Mountain Field. I landed up and landed on my head. I wasn't knocked out. I got up as quick as I possible, and I ran over to where he was. And I remember him saying, I didn't lose my leg, did I? And Beck Sergeant Williams, which was our medic, he lied to him. He said, no, you didn't lose your leg. Well, she didn't. His leg was still with him, but it was attached. And the helicopter came in, picked him up, flew him away. Last time I heard of it.
And out of the experiences that was there any one person in particular that you feel you looked up to, really respected, and would never forget?
Oh, I had 3. We called ourselves the 4 Musketeers. There was Sergeant Royer, Sergeant Pierce, and Ed McDonald, Sergeant McDonald. When they went out, we all went out. When one went, we all went. That's the way it went, all the time. But something happened, I don't know. They got called out. I wasn't. For some reason, I don't understand why. McDonald, he went out to the field. Halfway out, I wasn't there, so I couldn't tell you. All I know is the NBA threw in a Chicom. He fell on it. To save the 20 men, he fell on the Chicom, lost his life. The second one, that was the 3. And Sergeant Roy, he had only 20 days left in the country. And he came to me, he asked me, was it okay if he went back to the rear? Yeah, you bet, go back. Said, go back to the rear. We were out on a 20-man alert team. We came in by helicopter, and he was standing there right by the half tank. And I hollered at him, and I said, Sheridan, what are you doing? And he started laughing at me. I said, get over here. He wouldn't come over. I said, what are you doing? No. He said, just laughing. He said, I'll see you at the hooch. So I grabbed my rifle, and I went to the hooches. When I walked in, I took, the LT was there, Sergeant Ball was there, Sergeant Risco. And I go, where's Pierce? Where's Royer? What is, I'm going to kick his butt. And they laughed at me, and they said, who? I said, where'd he go? He said, you just out on the heliport. And they looked at me really, and I seen this box. Here with his name on it. It hit me, what is that? And the LT said, that's Royer's belongings. He said the colonel asked him to drive him out to the road a little way down to check the road and see everything was right. And they hit a mine. Lost his life. So did the colonel. He's down. So I'm waiting. Somewhere in that line, it's got to be me. Sergeant Pierce, he received these letters all the time from his wife, the Dear John letter. And I hated that song. He would play it over and over and over. The Bee Gees, How Can You Mend a Broken? And I would listen to it. That one morning we got up, loaded up, and over to a reel. And when we got to that reel, Sergeant Pierce got off, and he walked over and he seen the spider hole, which is a hole. And all he was wearing was a steel cap and a flight vest. And I should have caught it. That's the thing, I should have caught it. He walked over to me, and he called me John. Not Sergeant, but John. He said, John, give me a Flex X and a concussion grenade. If you've been there, you know what they do. You wrap that Flex X around a concussion, you got to hide a piece of dynamite. And he walks over to the spider hole, and he said, fire it home. We all ducked down. The dust was crazy. The little pebble was flying, and Sergeant Rivera, he was sitting on the Sheridan. He goes, where's Pierce? He kept saying, where's Pierce? After all the dust and everything settled down, we couldn't see him. We got up, Dr. Briscoe and I, and a little small distance that way, I found part of him. I found his face, half of his face. And how I know? Because his eyelid, he still had part of his ear. I picked it up, put it in a poncho, walked over on part of his leg. And I think it was his left. Picked that up, put it in a poncho. On his other leg, put it in a poncho. We walked over and picked up quite a bit of his.
Intestines. By the end of that one,
We laid him down, put him on a poncho. I walked over to those distance, and I seen this object. Couldn't figure out what it was, but it didn't look normal to me. So I scooped it up like this, and I held it in my hand, just like that. Sergeant Briscoe came over, cleaned it, took the pebbles off. He told me, be careful with that. Well, and he looked, he goes, you have no clue, do you? No, but you hold his brain. That put me in shock.
but that moment when you picked it up, you weren't too sure what it was.
I lost all three of them, and I cried. I couldn't stop. I laid him down on the poncho, tied up the poncho. This man was 6'3", 233 pounds. I picked him up with one hand. Literally picked him up with one hand. And medevac came in. For some reason, odd, it landed where we were. The chaplain was on it. I walked over to where the chaplain was. I don't know why I said that. To me, the more I thought about it, it was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. I walked over to where the chaplain was, straight in the eye. And I told him, take this kid. And the chaplain said, I will. Placed him on the helicopter, and I talked for a little bit, and they flew off. That was the end of the story there.
How long were you in Vietnam?
How long? The latter part of 69 to 71. So around, November, I believe. I think it's November of 69.
As far as having friends, I know being in the military, you have a lot of friends that you meet, a lot of people you lose, individuals that I lose contact with over time.
And then after that, I didn't have no friends. Refused to have friends.
How was it when you got home?
How do you want to describe that? How was it? It was scary, for one. Cars went by, when it used to go. Different noises. Couldn't go camping. The family likes to go camping. I couldn't. Going out there, I could hear every little noise. I could hear every brush, every leaf fall. That's how I was. It wasn't Bigfoot. It was just me. And the more I looked at it, the more I thought, I told myself that there's still a part of me. And I still believe this. There is a part of me still there. What would I do if I found myself? I don't know. Very good question. I don't know.
Well, in that duration too of being home, so my understanding that you also became a police officer,
Yep.
continued to serve your communities.
Yeah, I went to work for Bingham County, for the sheriff's department there.
Bingham?
Worked there for about a year and a half. And for some reason, Fort Hall called me, and they said they could make me a good deal. But what is the deal? So we could promote you, and we could pay you more than what you're doing. So I thought about it. So I decided to go there. And I think it was 3 months. They sent me to Marana, Arizona Police Academy. And I didn't know this, but it was cool. I graduated. I received the badge, the Bureau of Indian Affairs. And that was a federal badge. I had no clue whatsoever. I was a federal officer working for the tribal police. Worked there for quite a long time then. Reggie, he gave me my nickname. I was a seven-tongue devil. I could talk myself out of anything.
Is this what kind of devil?
The seven-tongue devil.
7-ton silver-tongued devil.
Yep.
And how long were you working down there on the reservation as a police officer?
Oh my goodness. Oh,
18 and a half years.
yeah. I really like it there. It just depends on who you're working with. But yeah,
Definitely a share of stories that I've heard from working on the reservation as well. Did your learn all this time? I'm like too. Did you meet your wife?
I met her. Oh, well, Reg, this was a good one. His name was Steve Knapp. And Steve, he was a juvenile officer. He wanted me to write love letters to Millie.
because you were the silver-tongued devil.
I wrote many of them to her, and I don't know what happened. We got to know each other. She wrote, at that time they could write with the officers, so she wrote out to different areas, show what we did on patrol. Then from the dispatch, she went to jail. That's how I really got to get on. Then we got married. Then I left there. Well, I didn't leave there, but left there. Went to work for the security at Ermic, the hospital outpost.
In Idaho Falls?
I was 1, 2, 3, roughly around 6 months. Could be longer, don't quote me. Vernon Alvarez, chief of police. I hired him. He called me up. He wanted to know if I wanted a job. I said, you're kidding me. No, we'll hire you right now. But I want you to understand one thing. Yeah, that you got 2 people that are against you. Oh, who is this? He told me it was, he passed away. Chief of police. Oh, he was first to get. Who? Larry. Yeah, him. And they named Captain, the white guy, Davis. I said, oh, I can deal with him. So I went there, met Clem Hidalgo again, had to run the mile. I done that, did everything I was supposed to do, and I became a police officer again. I don't know what the heck went wrong. We gave, what was Larry's, Larry Edmonds? No, Larry used to run for his wife. She worked dispatch. I can't recall her name. But anyway, we gave her, the wife did, a wolf dog.
A
little
what?
Puppy.
Oh, okay.
So I had to go check to see how it was doing. It was not good. We back home. When I got there, I shouldn't have been there. I met Larry, I'm bad with names right now.
Devin Boyer?
No, he became lieutenant. No, up cemetery.
Flower?
Who?
Flower? Was it Flower, was it?
Oh, I have to come back and think about his name again. It took quite a while. So, checked on them and found him and, no, not really. Well, anyway, I caught him and the girl with no clothes on. And I said, what do I do? So I went to the council and they told me to go to the other fishing officer.
What?
Who?
What?
I mean, to go to the other officer game. So she came. Who? Was there to him. And he told me to go to, and they won't get out. It's a secret. I said, are you sure? Yes. I went to them and told them exactly what I seen, what happened. They said, okay. All night they got a hold of them and told them the story that they said they wouldn't do. They didn't even sign my papers of termination. They said, you're gone. What's the reason? They were supposed to meet with me in the evening. That's why I couldn't understand. He goes at 2,100 hours to get my papers, and they wouldn't sign. They weren't even filled out. I said, well, okay. So the phone, I got it, went downstairs, met Clem Hidalgo. They ordered new holsters. I'm a left-handed. So he gave me my left-handed holster. 5 minutes. I had to surrender it. And now I'm terminated again.
Again.
The story of my life.
The experiences of, you've been home, you're a police officer, worked on the reservation. You said you worked for Bingham County, security guard, working in Idaho Falls. You met your wife. You guys got married. Have any kids?
Yeah, I have 4 sons and 2 daughters.
And all of them are starting their own families now. So out of everything that, you got the highs and the lows, everything that you've experienced, what would you say was probably the most memorable?
The highs and the lows.
Most memorable, like on a good, something that you never forget, that you could relive.
I couldn't find any.
None?
I met my first wife, Ernest. She did not like the job. She hated it. It's what I love. And we had to make up our minds. So one night, the kids came in and they said, Dad, you ought to leave her. What? You ought to leave her. Leave Mama. Oh, boy, I thought about it. They were right. So that's what I did.
And then following that,
And following that's where I went. Really,
you guys have been married for some years now?
38.
38 years. So in all the moments, not maybe a personal experience of your own or experience that you would consider that you have done out of your time back home being married to Millie and with your children, what's a moment that you spent with them that you know is a treasure? Too many to count.
I don't think never done that. I never spent anything with the kids because I was always there.
Mhm.
I actually laugh. That's what's funny. Instead of checking in sometimes, I drive up to the PD dispatch window right here. I just sit there and park and watch all the officers in there go straight go to dispatchers. And once I picked up that phone and said, we're all 203, they were gone. They scattered like flies.
Because you came back.
I was there. Yep. And the one I had problems with, officer-wise, was Perkins. Yeah, Perkins. That's his name.
Perkins. Tinker.
Tinker. Yep. And what was his name? He had the canine. Who?
What?
Yeah.
Schrock.
Bro. And I don't know why I didn't do it. I should have did it. And I called Shane Barney, chief of police at that time. Told him what happened. Rock put a state police officer on a cold run. This is the most stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Cold run.
Cold run.
Explain a code. Like what you had to define it.
A high pursuit.
High pursuit.
Those are sounds right. And I knew something was wrong then when he told me. He said, Joe, can you meet me on Mission Road? The bell started clicking. Something's wrong. Rolled over, jumped out of the car, started laughing. That was the ISP officer. I said, what's going on? He explained. They was making groups having fun. He put the ISP officer on the run. Thinking they just take a vehicle. Yeah.
So almost like making a false.
Got it. Yeah. My shit, a whole lot, and we would deal with it in the morning. It never happened. Morning never did happen. Okay.
I've heard a lot of stories similar to that too. Something happening, and there's a level of importance to it that needs to be addressed and corrected.
But nobody really cared. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You're terminated before something steps up. I've got Turkin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, roughly around 7 times. Pulling out the women's that was handcuffed, pulling out the drawers.
Huh.
Yeah.
Of dark information. Your time as a police officer for Hall, would you say it was the experience?
Yeah, I thought it was. Rich and I, once in a while, we would clash because he had his own mind, I had mine. But yeah, it was what I became. Before that, I was sergeant. Went to around Arizona, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what was something that helped you do the job, both in the military and in the police force? What was it that helped you through those real difficult times? Was it like a sense of your own? Was there?
I would have to say you hit it right there. Sense of relevance. Yeah, honestly, I tried very hard. I had a mentor. We used to laugh about this. Everybody's got a hero in their life. My hero was Walking Tall.
Walking Tall?
Super Pusher.
Older movie? New one?
I carried the chick, but yeah, I always tried to make him. And that's what I got today. Everybody, wow, yeah. Bruce Baldwin, he'd be talking to him, and I walk behind him to watch their hands. I learned that by watching their hands. What they're going to do before they react. I got them in a butterfly. So. And I remember going over to, was it Janelle's sisters, the traders? That was a massive, oh, that was massive. I got on top of a chair and told them, all right, you guys have got anything. Break this putting it down, leave or go to jail.
You only give them two choices.
That was it. I didn't get very many calls from Brock or Perkins at all. I had an ISP officer, a woman, all the way from Pocus Health on response to give me a hand to help me on D Street.
And they actually showed up to help, huh?
I'm right there in the area somewhere.
Huh.
Yeah.
Guess you don't do much anymore.
No, I ran across guys. What's his name? Mohawk. Leo Airway. I've run across him a few times. The Howard Door. They would tell me their stories. I mean, I need to come back. You really do, John. No, I'm done.
Your time served in the military, was it a huge factor in deciding to become a police officer? Or was it something that you just always wanted to do?
I always wanted to be. tell you a small story. When I was just a kid, around 10 years old, we lived right across from the police station, the old one, and there was a motorcycle cop named Alabama. And I used to go over there, look at his bike. He let me turn the siren on, the lights, do the whole bit. Yeah, that's cool. I would go to the op, and they had evidence drop box. Went down like this, spiral for evidence. He would pick me up and push me down there. Yeah, it was cool. And he asked me one day, cold and stern, what would you like to be when you grow up? I want to be a policeman. I really want to be a policeman. And he looked at me and he said, you'll be a good one. I work hard. Yeah, I believe a good one. No. I've all the dispatchers. I mean, not all, yeah.
Wow.
And you had that incident with Sergeant South.
Remember that?
I handled that.
So what did that one entail?
Hmm?
Was that one like a high intensity or dark or?
It was and it wasn't. I had to put everything in motion. Okay, step one, step two, what are you going to do? I got a helicopter coming in. I have a rifleman on the ground. I got him walking on the ground. And his place is completely split. What? No? So taking care of him, and he's all right. Watching that rifle, I had a crowd. I'm bringing that helicopter in.
Thinking on your feet, making sure you're doing everything correctly, keeping everybody safe.
That's exactly. I talked to Clem. Clem was bullheaded. He just would not listen. He was, there was a wreck on a motorcycle just right off of the road. It bumped to one guy, and I told Clem, I said, there's somebody still out there. If I got this feeling, Clem, there's somebody out there. I really do. So I tried to walk it a little bit. And there was marsh and mud, and water was kind of low. So I came back, and I told him, I said, I still think somebody's there. Well, they stopped searching. Because it wasn't their job. It was a year or 2 years. I can't remember. I think it was 2. They found his body way out towards the sand. And he was military. He was home on leave.
Wow.
Yeah.
Never heard.
Oh, there's a lot of stories you wouldn't believe.
Well, it feels like every time I get the opportunity to talk to a veteran or a veteran police officer, it's worked out. There's always stories I'm being told where it's almost hard to believe.
Oh, they're not. I have a lieutenant that still kicks me off. I lost it. We got into a tussle right by the fire department. It was snowing, wet. I don't know how I lost it on my jacket, but it fell. The rest of me went in the car, realized it was gone, went back to look for it, couldn't find it. So we used a metal detector, couldn't find it. So what did I do? I probably won. And that wasn't good enough. They took it away from me.
Yeah, that's pretty normal too. They always tell you not to buy your own equipment. Well, we've come a long way with your experience and been through a lot. If there was anything that you could pass on, any kind of advice, something that you would tell the next generation that's about to join the military, about to join the police force, what would be something that you would want to pass on to them?
Whoa. The only thing I would have to tell them is all you can be trustworthy, and believe what you're doing. A lot of it is have faith. Believe in faith, and everything's okay. It will be just fine. I had an experience to me. I wasn't running, wasn't walking, but yet I was right there. I was right at the most courteous thing I've ever seen in my life. Guy is sitting there right by the pearly in a white gown. I have no clue to this day who he was. And he told me that I need to go back. Go back home. And he called me by name. Said, John, you are not ready. And I looked at him and I go, well, what am I supposed to do? He laughed at me. He said, only for you to know. Only you. And he's right. Whatever it is, I should know. So,
Well, I would say that definitely warrants the fact that there's probably probably something a little for you to experience and something for you to pass on, something to teach.
mm-hmm.
And same thing with you given today to sit down with you. I'm hoping that we can do it again. We have all these upcoming events between the festival and Veterans Day this year, and hopefully we can do a lot more.
Yeah.
And there's definitely a lot more that I'd like to sit down and talk to you about. Maybe we can do like a little bit more of a free time with John.
Yeah, but they don't go nowhere. So nobody wants to hear. We went to a store robbery. Supposed to have been a store robbery. As a trading post.
The old school
And
trading post.
it was a holiday. It was Christmas or whatever it was. And everybody was tanked up.
It was New Year's.
Huh? I don't know who it was.
It's over New Year.
New Year's. Yeah. Clem was all tanked up. Tanked. Look, we're running this show. We may have an armed robbery, and you're in here drunk, but that was supposed to be put that under the cover. It doesn't happen. Okay. Not much you can say.
No, I understand that. That's I think something some level that we've all seen and experienced some level. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the interview there. But I do appreciate the time that you've spent speaking with us here today.
Yeah.
And I'll be sure to, as soon as I get the video up, I'll make sure that it's gotten to you, so at least you can see and watch it yourself. And then in the future, like I said, hopefully we get another opportunity to sit down and go over some more stories. Given an opportunity to go over the more enjoyable or funnier parts of the experiences, just to kind of give a little bit of a better sense. Not everything is always dark and always gloomy, but there are always those upsides to everything.
You're always happy, but a lot of times kind of crazy, but that's the way it is.
But all the same, John, appreciate your time.
No problem.
And that is all for now.